Hello, my darlings. Okay, so today here's what we are going to be learning about. In the other video, we talked about the outline and what it is in its completed form, what its purpose is, why it's a helpful tool and something to do before you start your paper. Now I'm going to give you the how-to. So the things you need up are your thesis, wherever you've written that, your research facts, color-coded and organized, and this research template. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down your name. You're going to write down your working title, which is whatever your topic is. Houdini, sharks, black holes. You're going to write down your thesis. And then you're also going to write down your conclusion, which is your thesis in slightly different words. So change the order, use a synonym, do something along those lines. And then here's where we're going to start the outline. Put your cursor where it says outline and press enter. Now, the whole format of Roman numerals and ABCs, all of that Google will do for you, but you need to tell it how to do it and you need to know how to work it. So go to outline and then go to numbered list. Sometimes you have a ... that you have to press to get to it. For me, it showed up. The part you need is the arrow. When you click that, you'll see that there's all different types of outline formats. The one you need is the one with Roman numerals. So that is the bottom middle. And if you've done everything correctly, you should get an I, dot, and then an indentation. All right, so one thing to keep in mind, if you are ever on the Roman numeral and you just press enter, you don't type in anything, it disappears. It takes you out of it. So just be aware of that. Make sure that you always type in something. I'm going to type in a placeholder, but remember, this is going to be your topic sentence. So these are eventually going to be your paragraphs. This is probably your topic sentence in some form. So take this, put it into a complete sentence, make sure it summarizes everything in here, and write it down here. After that, you're going to press enter, and it thinks you're ready for the next Roman numeral, but obviously you're not yet. You need to write down some A's and B's. Remember, you always have to have at least an A and at least a B in your Roman numeral. After that, everything else is optional. In order to tell it that you are ready for the letter A, you are going to press the button Tab, T-A-B, and that will bring it over to a letter. Now, type in a placeholder. When you press enter again, it's gonna get you ready for B. So type in something else. Now, let's say that B is a really important fact. You know, you're talking about Jackie Robinson's schooling, and there are some specific things you need to talk about his schooling, that your paper won't work without it. When that happens, you are going to break it up into ones and twos. So press enter again. It thinks you want a C, but you don't. What you want is a 1 and a 2. So you're going to press once again, Tab, T-A-B. And that brings you over to 1. And so this B is going to summarize what's in 1. And remember, whenever you have a 1, you have to have a 2. Wherever you have an A, you have to have a B. Wherever you have a 1, you have to have a 2. If you want a 3, 4, 5, 6, that's fine. If you want a C, D, E, F, G, that's fine. If you don't want them, you don't need them. You have to have at least this much. Sorry, at least this much. And if you choose to have a 1, you also have to have a 2. Now, after that, I got one more point. I want it to be C, but it thinks that I am ready for a 3. So I need to tell it to move me back. And the way you do that is Shift, Tab. So Shift, like you're making a capital letter, and then Tab again, and you'll see that it moves you the other way. Type in a placeholder. When you press enter, it's going to keep you on those letters until you tell it, nope, I'm ready for the next Roman numeral. Once again, to do that, you press Shift Tab. So long story short, if you want it to get smaller, press Tab. If you want it to get bigger, press Shift Tab. If you ever press Enter on a Roman numeral, it will make it disappear. So in order to get it back, put your cursor on the last thing you typed. There we go. Press Enter again, and then you can move it to what you need it to be. Now, as you do your outline, when I go to check it, there are going to be some things that I might say, I might highlight something. If I highlight it red, it's something that needs to be changed. Sometimes it will be something I type in. For instance, maybe you're missing a word. You're going to notice that this pops up in a comment. Another thing you might see is if I see you're missing a period, I might just say, put in the period for you. Here's what you need to do. If something is highlighted, you need to make sure you fix it. But when you're done, make sure you keep it in red. That's a sign that it's something I need to check. Because I know that this one and this one doesn't have anything in it, I'm going to know that I can skip that the next time I look at it. It makes conferencing with you go faster. If I type in something missing a word, sometimes, you can just add in that word. Sometimes in order to fix this, you have to get rid of that comment, and that's okay. But if I have a comment, try to leave it in so I know to look for it again. And then if it's something like a period where you were just missing one, I put a period in. What it here is asking is, it's saying that I made that suggestion that you need a period there. And with that period, you are going to want to keep it. I'm not really suggesting, I'm telling you put in that period. What you can do in that situation is if you press check mark, it'll automatically keep it. It'll make it part of a permanent change. If you press X, it will get rid of it. So be aware of that. If I type in something like missing a word and you type in the word, eventually I'm going to X out of that to get rid of those words. Okay, so that's just a quick heads up on how the comments work. Please check out the next video to figure out how to conference. Thank you very much for your time.